Giraffe recently released our new site fill algorithm, and I just wanted to take a moment to put out a little training video on how to use it. This is version 1, and we're really excited to hear your feedback. So let's get started. The first step in recreating that precinct that you saw at the beginning of the video is adding the subdivision algorithm to our site. Subdivision helps you divide any parcel into multiple subparcels based on a set of rules. Here I'm setting up that subdivision algorithm. But before we add the site fill, a little trick that I like to use to make sure my roads are included is to add another output from the initial shape and then turn that output into lines and assign the road usage to those lines. And then following that, we're going to add another output to include the site fill. The site fill transform only has a couple of settings, the offset and the spacing. The offset controls the width of the building, and the space controls the minimum space that would be allowed between the sides of the building. And what the site fill algorithm does is it generates a center line of that building, which then you can apply the offset poly transform to actually turn that center line into a building form. Now, because my site was quite large, my initial subdivision created basically blocks, and I need to further subdivide those blocks into actual building units because the initial buildings that were generated by the site fill algorithm are far too large, aren't very attractive. So we can add another subdivision to our initial flow to sort of control those sizes. I can tell that I need to make some adjustments because it's actually turned all of the problem geometries pink. And what I've found here is once I adjusted those subdivision sizes, my site fill was generating buildings that were too large to fit on the new plots that I created. So I have to go in and adjust. Now I'm happy with the residential buildings that have been created. But what I want to do is take this precinct to the next level. So I could have stopped here. I could have just left it as all residential, but I want to have this solve a much larger area. So I'm going to jump into my flow builder again and add another transform called strip. And the strip transform strips a number of results off the front and end of any algorithm. Now I have more results that I can play with, and I can apply another subdivision. I can apply another site fill. I could make one of the sections just into a park. So I have a lot of options to use the shapes that I've already generated to do other things with, but have the entire resulting geometry be a parametric precinct with lots of different usages included. So here I'm going to add a commercial district to my precinct, and I want the first podium level of my buildings to be retail at the street level, and then above that be commercial. So I'm going to add a couple of outputs from my envelope output of the subdivision algorithm and use the stack order property to make sure that they stack as expected. And then once all of that's complete, we can see this beautiful dynamic precinct that has lots of different uses. It includes walking paths, a park, a pretty useful roadway, and everyone's sort of got the accesses that they would need to make it a really livable environment. And all of this was done using the flow builder. If I had modeled all of this from scratch, it would have taken a lot of brain power and a lot of time. This video is less than 10 minutes long. It probably took me in real life about half an hour to put this together. And what's really cool is now I can use this over and over again. I can save this to my design library, bring it into my next project. And if I just want to get an idea of what sort of a large precinct could look like, if it's got this mix of uses, I can just plop it down and adjust the shape to fit. So I hope that's helpful. If you want to give the site fill algorithm a try, you can sign up at app.giraffe.build and hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone.